Oi pessoal, eu sou o Bruno Ascari, esse daqui é o Som de Peso e hoje estou aqui na casa da Mia, muito obrigado ao Nando, pessoal da For Music, para entrevistar o grande Fantastic Negrito. Quem conhece o canal sabe que eu falo dele desde os primeiros vídeos do canal, desde o primeiro disco dele lá do Back to Oakland, lá de 2017. Então é muito bom, é muita alegria poder estar aqui para poder entrevistá-lo. Então, Fantastic, thank you so much for your time and to talk about your new record. So,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So let's talk about Son of a Broken Man. I've listened to this record. It released this Friday, so it's
yes, the 18th.
Yeah,
19th.
19th. Yeah. So it's very new to all of us, and I think you can correct me, but I think this is your most personal album that you ever made.
I would think so, yeah.
All the other albums have things about you, like talking about gentrification, about your heritage, about mental illness and other things. And if you please talk about a little bit to the audience here, what is about the record, what inspired you to do that?
Yeah, a lot of my records always have kind of big themes, and I like big themes because it can deflect from me. But this was a personal story about, you know, the oldest conflict in the world is the conflict between a father and son. And I thought it was time to address some of the things about my dad. My dad stopped talking to me when I was 11.
Yeah.
And never said a word to me again. He passed away when I was 14. He's a very strange, damaged guy, traumatic guy, and in making Son of a Broken Man, I wanted to acknowledge it and make sure that I don't pass on some of the very negative things that I learned from him. And there was also some very great things about him too.
Like what, please?
Well, put me on the spot. I think he gave me my work ethic.
Oh yeah?
This fierce invincibility of you can do anything and turn the bullshit into good shit. I think I get that from him. I mean, be yourself, be unique, embrace yourself, never give up, never quit. Those are the great
good
things.
ones.
But
So,
then, you know, a lot of bad things too, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you can correct me, but because I was researching to do this, and I see that he made a wrong narrative for you about his identity and your heritage. Yeah?
He was a liar.
Yeah.
Well, my dad had me when he was 63.
Oh.
And my mother was 30. So I'm old sperm. I was the sperm with the walker. But I made it.
The slow one, but the real fast one.
Exactly. So, you know, he's a good storyteller. But he had me believe a lot of things about myself that I just found out were not true in the last few years. And one of them is that strange last name that I have. I found out that he just invented that out of thin air.
Oh, really?
Really, yeah. So my dad was dealing with a lot of issues, and I think it turned him into a storyteller.
So about this false identity and everything, do you believe that he used this to hide his true self?
I think he used it to, we fooled white people with that name.
Okay.
Because you're born in 1905, people are looking at you as, okay, you're in this box. You're in this category, and you can only do so much. But he created this narrative that he was some special person with this exotic name from this faraway land, and I think people treated him differently in America because of that.
Yeah, racism.
I think a lot of his stuff was survival, but he damaged a lot of people. But that's life, you know?
Yeah.
We're all traumatized in some way if we start talking to each other.
Yeah.
Our parents did some numbers on all of us. So it doesn't make me unique, but it does make me want to take that trauma and make it work for me. Because a lot of time we can drown in that trauma and we can become self-destructive.
Yeah.
But I chose the route that, okay, I know I'm probably the most damaged person in the room at any given moment. But how do I make that work for me? And that's a lot of what music and albums and Son of a Broken Man was about that.
Yeah, so about that, I want to know what were your inspirations for this album, because I was listening to it and I can feel some of Otis Redding, some Solomon Burke, and sometimes, don't get me wrong please, but you sound a little bit, your voice especially, like Jack White on some moments.
Okay.
And
I've heard everything, man. I've heard so much of what I sound like to people. It's just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why would I take that wrong? He's an amazing artist.
No, I don't know.
He's incredible. And I wouldn't take Jack White. Is great, everybody. He's done some incredible work. That's great. I just never know. I don't. It's just I accept whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just put a video on TikTok and everybody's saying that I sound like Rod Stewart. I'm like, what? He sounds like Rod Stewart, and he sounds like, and I'm like, okay. So I always sound like someone else or something else to people. I think maybe because I never thought I was a good singer. And I always use these characters to kind of get it done, and maybe that's why I sound like so many people, but lately it's been Rod Stewart, which
Rod Stewart is new.
I've heard like people call me the punk rock Al Green. I'm looking at Al Green.
Yeah.
Like, you're like the punk rock Al Green. I'm like, okay. I've been called the male Patti Smith. I've had Curtis Mayfield, Prince, everything. Jack White, Rod Stewart.
No,
Solomon Burke, I don't know. I think it's I steal from all the good people.
No, but, especially on this album, I think one of the most great achievements is especially this, how you can mold, transform your voice in different characters inside the record.
It's all insecurity. I think I always felt like I needed to be a character because I never felt I was a great singer. I always felt like great singers, like I go to, well, especially part of my life was in the black church. And
Yeah.
those are I was like, these are the real singers.
Singers, yeah.
So I always thought I was a character. So maybe that's why it comes off that way. I want to sing the character in the song.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes when you put on, my record, it's like, whoa, and then it's like, oh shit, what happened? This is the same guy,
Yeah.
And I think I take pride in that.
Yeah, I think one of the most incredible things about singers is, of course, affination and the technique of it. But especially what moves me more is when you can pass it on to listeners, the emotions. And I think you are doing in this record in the most beautiful way.
Well, that matters a lot to me, is how I'm connecting. That's why I do it. Like, how do you connect with other human beings?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm not that confident or feel that secure because I've had a very tumultuous, difficult life, but I do like connecting with people. I feel very comfortable through music.
Yeah.
But one-on-one, you'd probably hate me one-on-one. Like, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, I can't easily, I can be like different. With music, it's easy. That's my medium. Like, yeah, I can talk now.
Yeah. I think it's
You say
the
for
most,
you too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Is that
I think,
interesting?
Yeah.
So
I think,
without music and I'm meeting you, it's going to be a whole different experience.
of course. No, it's like this. We've never met before. We've never talked before. And here we are making a connection through music.
Come on.
It's the
It's
most
beautiful.
beautiful thing
It is, right?
in the world.
In the world.
I always said to the audience, to my friends, look, I got chills right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Because for me, music is the most universal art and the most powerful art.
In the most universal language.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'm here in Brazil talking with a Brazilian, and what I did in English, Like, okay, there's something there. Would I just listen to this amazing 2 Brazilian artists, and I'm like, okay, that got me inside, and I think that's what can save humanity. I know it's corny, but I think that can save us.
Yeah, of course.
We could have conferences on just music.
Yeah.
We could get together.
Yeah, it's because of this.
World War III can be music. Battle of the Bands.
Yeah. It's because of this. Like, you maybe don't understand what the singer is singing, but you can feel it.
Feel it. You can feel it. Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing
Most beautiful
ever.
thing.
I feel like here some things like I hope somebody's loving you.
Yes.
I think it's one of the most touching songs.
Yeah, that's when I put on TikTok, and I'd never really been on TikTok, and I put it on there. I got like 500,000 people. I'm like, oh my God.
Whoa.
But I think I don't know what I'm doing most of the time, and that's why I like it. I'm not aware of what's happening. There's something about those words that resonated with a lot of people. Because that song is just viral, and I think that's the power of the music, is that we trust that voice, that spirit, and don't disrespect it and let it be what it's going to be. I always feel like there's 4 songwriters inside me. I know all 4 of them. There's
Which
a guy
one?
that's like, man, he's rocking out. There's that guy, and he's like, cutting the plastic hamburgers on the new record. He's like, I'm gonna run away from you. People are like, oh, is that like Led Zeppelin or Jack White? There's like that writer's in the band.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the guy that wants to do ballads.
Yeah.
He's totally different.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy that's really experimental. You heard him a lot on the previous album. He's really
Yes.
like drifting away, and he's got, whoa, it's kind of psychedelic. And then there's this funky guy. Really, so it's like 4 writers. I always approach, the way I approach music is very bipolar.
Yeah.
It's a very bipolar aesthetic. It's a place where I can exercise that without people freaking out. Well, people still freak out, but I don't mind being that. It's the beauty of being like self-managed, self-produced, self-financed, self-determined, independent artist, is you can just explore being a human being and not being a commodity.
Yeah. And I think that nowadays the music, it's becoming a commodity more than ever. It's like people don't stop to listen to music. It's always washing the dishes, running on the park or in the gym. We are kind of losing the touch to stop your time and listen and reflect and digest music. Not just for the body, but for the soul too.
Well, it's so important. I have a little kid, and I just always putting on music. And when we're having an experience in the yard or something, I make sure I play music. For eating food, we're having a particular experience. I want the music is so connected to the art and the food and all stuff.
Yeah.
So I love this idea of like it's an experience, and people with a room full of albums. I mean, people have put all their humanity and their soul and all their experiences in there, presenting you with this thing that you can take with you, and you can have this beautiful experience and have these different ranges of emotions. I was listening to classical on the way over on the plane, only classical. I wanted to have that experience, and I was like, wow, it's incredible and like really powerful. These strings and these people playing with this intention, and it was profound.
Yeah. What were you listening to?
I never know what I'm listening to. I always tell the people that I was talking to earlier, I like not knowing what, it's kind of odd. I don't, it may be something to do with trauma, I don't know, but I don't want to know. I don't dig into what it is. I like accepting it, whatever it is. I'll listen to anything. I listen, like, I got a teenager and I'm listening to this really trap music. Like it's like making me feel real dark, but I'm just going with the experience. I'm like, God, wow, this is really dark and kind of empty and desolate. But I don't mind having the experience. And that's what makes music interesting. That makes writing the music interesting. And it's okay to experience what other people are experiencing musically.
Yeah.
I kind of
I
look
believe in
forward to
that too.
Yeah, I want to know what you're listening to more than play it. Let's trip off of it. You know?
And even if you don't like it, you can feel it in another way. You can maybe, you don't like this.
Yeah,
but when you listen, you think and reflect and make it something like good about this.
Well, I think what's good about it is then I can understand you. I may not agree with you, but I can understand you.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why you need this kind of dull, like trap music that's can't understand the lyrics. It's like, okay, now I can understand you and I'm not going to criticize.
Oh yeah.
So it's an education. I think now, like everyone, I say, everything's my teacher.
Yeah.
Even the things that suck. I'm like, well, you're my teacher. I think we're touring in Europe. Someone was having a hard time with one of the people on tour, and I'm like, hey, come here. That guy's your teacher right now.
Yeah.
So just go through it. It sucks. It's your teacher.
Yeah.
that's how I feel like. Yeah.
So as our teacher here,
Yeah.
what can you teach us about music?
That's too much. I don't
Yeah? I know it's a tough one.
Well, I think I can, that's a good one. No one taught me that. No one told me that. I think I can teach people to let it happen and get out of the way. And kind of let it happen, because that's the most difficult thing is, not being full of shit. And not trying to please you. And just kind of getting out of the way of the process. I hope that I'm doing that on every record, because I'm surprised at reactions to the music sometimes. I think if the more kind of like, oh, shocking, that's a good sign. Get out of the way. That's what I can say. Let it happen. Let it be what it is, because it is your teacher, and it's that moment, that experience is unique to all of us. We have our own unique experiences, and we need to share them with each other.
Yeah.
Because I think it makes it better. And we need to maybe even be uncomfortable. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And even what I'm doing make you a little uncomfortable. And that's okay, and vice versa. And I think at the end of the day, we're going to like each other a lot more.
Of course.
And we're going to respect each other a lot more.
Yeah.
That's what I can teach.
That's beautiful.
I don't know if that sucks or if that's great, but it's how I see the world.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I know.
So, fantastic. Thank you so much
Thank you so
for
much.
your time, for
Thank you for your
our
support, and
interview.
thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
I know.
E então é isso, gente. Muito obrigado aqui pelo papo, pela última vez aqui. Vamos escutar Son of a Broken Man, o mais recente trabalho do Fantastic Negrito. Infelizmente, quando o vídeo for pro ar, o show já vai ter rolado. When the video will be on YouTube, the show will already be happened. So
It's okay. There'll be more shows.
Yeah.
How about that?
Please come another time.
I will. Obrigado.
Obrigado, gente.